What a joyous day it is! I just sent in my audition to become the 8th and final member of the hit boy band BTS. Right once they get back from their service. So needless to say, I'm pumped. And today, I've got something really special for you. I'm no longer going to be a one-trick pony. I'm not going to cry about anime or AI channels or cry about a young and talented, bright-minded individual. I'm going to be giving you guys something that you can actually use. Something that will truly inspire you. Something that inspired me. I'm going to be telling you guys about a little indie project. It's called 5 centimeters a second. Now, I can't really tell you the story of 5 centimeters a second without talking about its creator, Makoto Shinkai. If you guys watch anime, Mr. Makoto-san is your favorite. He's just your Prophet Muhammad. As long as this guy's around, Studio Ghibli can eat shit. He's at the top of his game, and he just keeps on pumping out banger after banger. He's got Your Name. He's got Weathering with You. He's got 5 centimeters a second. This guy just can't stop. He's a young visionary in the anime sphere. And he just has such a profound wisdom about him. Such a perfectionism that can only be seen as the reincarnation of the late and great Hayao Miyazaki. If you've watched any of his films, you can only wonder how this man came about being such a wise and supple young man. Makoto Nitsu was born in Lebanon. From a young age, he was interested in animation and drawing. He took art classes at his local high school, to which his teacher entered him into competitions. After winning over $40,000 in scholarship money, Makoto Nitsu went on to work with a leading game developer named Square Enix to work on their next AAA title as the leading art director for the game Final Fantasy VII. Shinkai wasn't satisfied with the release of Final Fantasy VII. He thought that although it was a good game, narratively and artistically, he was not content with this medium, so he needed to switch to something more fulfilling. He decided to make his short film, The Cat and the Girl. Critics didn't notice it at the time, but they were witnessing the start to something extraordinary. After this point, he really began to perfect his art. He started working with the concept of taking real-world locations and putting them into animated form. Almost like a movie. He takes real things and he makes them colorful, like a painting, but a movie. Much like the late and great artist Andy Warhol, he started merging realities, started showing the people things that they were afraid of seeing, things that they didn't want to think. And he went on to make, in my opinion, one of the greatest films of all time, 5 centimeters a second. Now I have to do it justice. I can't just talk about 5 centimeters a second like it's any other movie. I can't break it down by beginning, middle, and end. I can't talk about some of the visual qualities and similarities to his other films, because it's not like his other films. Throughout the film, the characters look up to the sky, and narratively it is a metaphor for a reality that they cannot perceive, something that's at the tip of their fingers, but they just can't grasp it. And the skies are filled with beautiful images of the Milky Way and of the planets as they all converge. It serves as a as not just a metaphor for the film, but it serves as a metaphor for Makoto Shinkai and how he sees when he looks up in the sky, it's like the Hubble telescope. He sees planets. I don't like this movie. I think it's bad. I think it's objectively a bad movie. If you watch this movie, you probably won't like this movie. But I don't watch it because I like it. I watch it because I'm a masochist. I derive sexual pleasure from being treated like shit. And this movie is fucking dirty. It's filled with tropes. It's poorly written. Some characters who have dialogue aren't even mentioned. We literally don't know who they are. We see their upper half. We don't know who they are. This movie is miserable. So did I just say that this movie was amazing as a gag, as a joke? And I'm making up all this shit about Shiitake Miyazaki or whatever the fuck his name is, just for the giggles and to go, hee hee hee, fucking slanted-eyed Asian boy. So yes, I think his movies are overrated. I think they suck. But I truly think that 5 centimeters a second is one of the better films out there. It really has everything that I'm looking for when I watch a movie. It's got a main character they try to expand upon by proxy. It's got an unattractive female protagonist. Yes, she's a child. I get that. It's got tons and tons of empty silence so that the pacing doesn't get affected. It's got a ton of flashy imagery that you can look at and pat him on the back for. But everything else in this film is so incredibly inexcusable that I think it is one of the greatest films ever to grace the face of the earth. If you've got enough money to feed yourself tonight, you should pay the electricity bill so that you can watch this movie. I promise you, you will regret it. In conclusion, I can proudly claim that Makoto Shinkai is one of the greatest Japanese people to live. Thank you for your time. Good night.